sake.
I'm funny how? I mean, funny like I'm a clown, I amuse you.
You're tired.
Well, the lunchtime whistle and the morning's finally done. I'm jumping in my car, I'm gonna have a little fun. The Doghouse Network's on my radio dial. Big Dog's taking care of business for a while. If you're listening to another station I don't understand, 'cause nobody does it like Thom Abraham.
Give us a call, Steve.
He's a northern-bred, southern-fed, slick-talking guy. Listeners in his posse are the junkyard dogs. The SEC from Tennessee to calling them hogs. From Gainesville up to Lexington to the Tide and Tiger Land, nobody does it like Thom Abraham.
I guess I'm on here. Am I on? Can somebody respond?
Under a minute to go. Bama down one. Here's Mark front court. Going left. Cut off. Backs it out. Backs it out again. Defended by Ryan. Goes to his left. Cut off. Still going. Changing direction. Looks down low. Nelson. Pump fake. Shot. Counted. And he's fouled. Grant Nelson. An and-one opportunity with 38.6 to go. The Tide trying to get to the Elite Eight for just the second time in school history. The last coming in 2004. 87-85. Bama lead. Carolina ball. Side court near their own bench. Ryan will inbound it.
Alabama going with a more versatile defensive lineup that can switch if needed.
Diabate in the ball game for the Tide as Davis will drive right. He'll change directions, go left. He'll go downhill and have it blocked by Nelson. Out of bounds with 15 on the shot clock. 24 seconds remaining on the game clock. Nelson trying to make it a 4-point lead. Oh, and he does. He does. He does. We lead by 4 with 7.6 to go. Free throw up. Free throw missed. They'll heave it. It's blocked. It's blocked. Nelson blocked it. And Alabama is going to the Elite Eight for the second time in school history.
Oh, yeah, baby. Yes. Certainly. It is a football Good Friday here in the Doghouse. Look, it's always Football Friday in the Doghouse. And as per tradition, we will feature football music all throughout the show today, but come on. I mean, my goodness. When you have something like that going down, that's got to be your lead story, no doubt, right? Couldn't miss the guitar there. Now, what a game that was last night. I mean, now look, Auburn fan is quick to note that they also took out UNC into Sweet 16, and that one wasn't close, but no matter, right? I mean, they're still going to let the Tide play on Saturday night for a trip to the Final Four, and they're going to do it in the white uniforms, which I didn't even think they were taking with them because, you know, L.A., you had number 1 UNC and number 2 Arizona. Figured I had to go through those two as the 4 seed. But they will do it in their white unis. They will do it as a higher seed. They will do it as a 3-point favorite over, of all people, Clemson. The Tigers took out the 2 seed Arizona. So these two traditional football powerhouses, which have split 4 games in the college football playoff, will now play for a shot at the Final Four, which neither school has ever been to. It's crazy. Will Dabo Swinney be at the game? Does Keilman DeBoer fly out to L.A. for this? Nick Saban? Does he go out there as an ambassador for this thing? I mean, he was so tight with DeBoer when DeBoer came in. I mean, with Nate Oates, when Nate Oates came in. I mean, look, one, if not both of these guys need to back Nate Oates, don't they? I mean, it's Nate freaking Oates. This guy completely outcoached Hubert Davis. North Carolina clearly had the better talent, especially with the injury to Latrell Wrightsell, the Tide's best three-point shooter, not on the floor with the concussion. But Rylan Griffin was 5 for 8 from downtown, and Grant Nelson went freaking bonkers. Grant Nelson, quite possibly the whitest dude I have ever seen. I mean, he's almost translucent, from North Dakota, which is basically Canada. And this guy plays out of his gourd against one of the best bigs in the country. I mean, the game was just fantastic. Regardless of your rooting interest, the game itself was just fantastic. Just an absolutely great basketball game. In the first half, Alabama hit 7 of 14 threes. You get 50%. They got to be blowing them out. The Tar Heels knocked down 10 of 16. That's like 63% from downtown. But Nelson was just so clutch. He had 5 blocks, knocked down both of his three-point attempts. He made 10 of 11 free throws before missing the last 2, but I'm not sure that wasn't intentional, at least on the last one. You want the first one to make it a three-point game, but with less than a second on the clock, I think you missed that second one on purpose. Make them scramble, get the rebound, jack it up, from 80 feet. In the meantime, the ACC Player of the Year, R.J. Davis, was completely stymied. He missed all 9 three-point attempts, was 4 of 20 from the field. 4 of 20 from the field. Now, as for Clemson, they did beat Alabama in the ACC SEC Challenge back on November 28th, 85-77. But the Tide is a field goal favorite in this one on Saturday night. And let me just say this about all of this, okay? This is exciting. This is fun. This is good. But please, stop. Just stop right here, USA Today, with the headline, Nate Oates has Alabama looking like a basketball school instead of a football powerhouse. Just stop. Okay, just stop. Stop that. They're a football powerhouse, okay? They're not a basketball school. You can have both. Not many do. Florida did it for a minute when Billy Donovan was winning 2 national championships in basketball and the football team was good and all that. You can have both. But they stop. Nate Oates has Alabama looking like a basketball school instead of a football powerhouse. No, just stop. Go out and win like 18 national championships, and then you say they're a basketball. They're not a football powerhouse. This has nothing to do with the football team. This has nothing to do with whether or not the football team is still a football powerhouse. Okay, nothing to do with it. Nothing. All right. First hour of the show's wide open. Wide freaking open for you. Call 256-576-4977 to get in. Text window is open as well. 732-9TA show. 732-982-7469. My X feed is at Thom Abraham Show. The station's X feed is at 97.7 ESPN, where you can watch the show there at both of those X feeds. Our Facebook page is at 97.7 ESPN. You'll find a link there to our YouTube channel, WZZN TV. Check out 97.7ESPN.com and get links to all of that stuff. And to listen live on your desktop. While you're at it, get the app. There you can find a link to our alternate streaming channels for more great programming. There'll be 4 additional channels there. You need them all right there on the app. You're going to need them this weekend. Also, snag the Talk Radio WZZN app for more great programming. You can also hear Talk Radio at 97.7-2 over the air with a digital radio. Most cars have those now. This afternoon, right after the show, the Braves open the season in Philadelphia. Over on Zone 2, yours truly, beginning at 4 o'clock, first pitch, will have UAH basketball against Lee. Or baseball against Lee. tomorrow, the Braves will be over on Talk Radio WZZN. You got to look at this calendar. This broadcast calendar is ridiculous. I mean, when you're the only sports station in the Tennessee Valley, I mean, you got to look at this thing. Today, let's see. We got Braves in Philadelphia on the air immediately following the show. UAH baseball against Lee on Zone 2. I'm on the call for that. UAH softball against Lee on Zone 3. The Bandyman's on the call for that. Alabama baseball against South Carolina. That's on the Zone right after the Braves game. And then over on Talk Radio tonight, on Talk Radio, you'll start with the NCAA tournament, and then they'll JIP it after the baseball game for the late games. Tomorrow, what a cluster this thing is tomorrow. This calendar tomorrow, you got UAH doubleheader against Lee. Joe Hunk is on those games. You got Alabama baseball against South Carolina on the Zone. You got softball on Zone 3. UAH softball on Zone 3, starting at 1 o'clock. You got the Division II National Championship game on the Zone at 1:45. You got the Braves over on Talk Radio at 1:30 or so, or 2 o'clock for the Braves. Game 2 against the Phillies. Then you got the NCAA tournament, which will start on the Zone with full coverage at 5 o'clock. Then we'll switch to Alabama coverage, pregame beginning around 6:30 for the Alabama-Clemson game. Did I mention that the winner of that game goes to the Final Four? Do you see why you got to have all our channels? This is why you got to have all of our channels, because we got so much stuff going on for you. It's crazy. The UFL launches tomorrow afternoon with the Birmingham Stallions in Dallas to take on the Renegades of Arlington. I reached out to my buddy Zach Keilman from the UFL podcast to get a read on what we will expect with this new league, plus the new AFL, Arena League, which begins later in April with a team in Nashville. I mean, it's just nuts. It's just incredible what we got going on right now. Neither of those teams will be on our air. Just wanted to say that. But you never know, but they won't. All right, over there in the little glass room with the slanted ceiling, playing the platters that matter in these stacks of wax and answering the phones and getting absolutely stoked for the Braves season opener today. So fired up that he's wearing a batting helmet. I mean, he's literally wearing a batting helmet. Just in case he falls out of his chair, he wants to protect his head. He's got a red Braves jersey on and a freaking batting helmet. You know who he is. Living large on a Friday. It's Coach Chris.
Who in the blue hell are you?
I'm the producer of this show. If I didn't step up, you're nowhere. I put the thing together on a polish.
Brilliant!
I've got $100 smoking in my billfold. I know I ought to save it, but it's burning a hole. Right through my pocket and into my skin. Come Monday morning, I'll be broke again. It's finally Friday, I'm free again. I got my motor running for a wild weekend. It's finally Friday, I'm out of control. Forget the working blues and let the good time roll.
Down goes Grissom.
Someone call someone because there's a cleanup on aisle 3 as a man is down.
It's like taking poison, like rat poison.
It's not St. Patty's Day, so that's a different day entirely.
Yeah, Grizz, how you doing today after that thing last night, huh?
Oof, absolutely
how good
pumped.
was that?
Absolutely pumped, man. That was wild to see, and I'll tell you right now, Yesterday we were talking about, joking around prop bets, Grant Nelson 12.5, taking the under, stuff like that, all the slander that I gave him. I also apparently gave him a little bit of slander before the game. Apparently he must have been listening. As a friend and I were talking about it before the game, I was making a joke. I was like, can our buddy who's never played basketball in his life play post better than Grant Nelson? And Grant Nelson absolutely took over that game. But, I mean,
down low, though, against the big guy.
Yeah,
against the guy. I mean, look at how he played against.
It's is he a power forward? Is he a conventional big? Is he going to be a really good,
he's out there
NBA player? Is he a lottery pick?
3-point play. He needs a mix on a hamburger if he's going to be in the NBA. I mean, the dude needs to put a little bit of weight on there.
I mean, look at Kevin Durant. That guy's long and physical. I mean,
yeah, but Grant needs to get out in the sun a little bit. You know what I mean? Get a little color going. And by the way, put a little milk on that thing and let the cat lick that mustache off, will you? Because
at least that mustache.
That thing is a very shaggy looking thing. But man, and let me just say, I'm going to say it again. Nate Oates totally outcoached Hubert Davis. I mean, he totally outcoached Hubert Davis. And this team, they're just so tough emotionally, mentally. They were able to withstand several runs. I mean, when North Carolina, look, I'm going to be totally honest with you too, by the way. Our friend Steve Merrill put out one play to his clients last night in basketball, NBA or NCAA. His one play was UNC -4.5. I mean, that was his one play that he recommended to his clients. He said Alabama hadn't beaten anybody, in the first 2 games in the tournament, and he was right. And at halftime, it looked like he was right? I mean, didn't it look like UNC?
Yeah.
Okay, Alabama gave it its best shot. UNC was
real
ready
good at halftime.
They were going to pull away. Then it looked like they were going to blow them out maybe in the second half.
Yeah.
But, by the way, he gave a baseball play out as well. The baseball play he gave out was the Arizona Diamondbacks -1.5. They scored 14 runs in the third inning. No need to stay up and watch that. Man, so he splits last night, but it just absolutely incredible stuff. Watch that game was just tremendous. And then now you got your Braves, playing this afternoon.
Yeah.
It's going to be cold, but it's clear, so they're definitely playing today. They get on the field. And look, I don't want to say nothing about nothing because nobody cares about the Yankees except for me and, thousands of other people, but not ones that are listening here. But the Houston Astros, they went up 4-0 on the Yankees. The Yankees come storming all the way back. Big hit by Juan Soto. And then Soto with the hose in the 9th inning guns a guy down at the plate. Guns a guy down to secure the 5-4 win for the Yankees. I'm just going to say that.
Nasty
now,
stuff.
Yeah, and they looked absolutely glorious in their new road uniforms, which are their old road uniforms, but with no white trim and everything. I mean, they look glorious. But here's the thing, man. Those T-shirts that they're wearing, I mean, they're so thin. They were sweating right through it so bad. By the middle of the game, Aaron Judge, the top of his jersey was totally dark. While the bottom was gray, the top was totally dark from the sweat. I mean, they're so thin. Just look terrible. But, so they got to win, and I'm stoked about that. And I got to be honest with you, Grizz.
Yeah.
I'm a little flummoxed right now.
Yeah.
Because the grass was getting long. The weeds were growing a little long.
There's a few people around the neighborhood. I'm like, you need to cut your grass, but I keep my mouth shut.
Well, I'm kind of a fussadilla about my yard.
I'd be on it.
I keep a really nice yard, and my wife does a wonderful job with our we have tons of gardens.
I'd get the New Balances out. I'd get the shorts out.
No, she does a great job with all of that stuff with the gardens, and I'd take care of the lawn and the trimming and all of that.
Yeah.
And I needed to oversee. I always overseed with Kentucky bluegrass every year this time of the year, but you can't do that until you cut it down short, and then you got to overseed. And so today is Friday. Yesterday was Thursday, and I was in the market. I was in Huntsville yesterday. Got home, relatively late from Corralejos. I hope you guys got it. I hope you got it this morning because it was gone.
Yeah,
120 vouchers were gone in 30 minutes. So anyway, I was unable to do anything yesterday. So today, immediately after the show, I'm heading back to the market to do the UAH game. So there's no way that I could cut later this afternoon. Tomorrow I'm fishing. I'm just going to tell you right now, I'm fishing tomorrow.
Not bad.
I got to fish tomorrow because next Saturday is the big Tim's Ford Classic 200 boat tournament, and I got to get some time out there. I got to find something. I got to find a starting spot. So tomorrow I'm fishing, I'm scouting, I'm practicing for the Tim's Ford Classic tomorrow. By the way, you guys just go to Facebook and look up Tim's Ford Bass Club, and you can fish in this tournament. It's a great event. $5,000 first place. It's tremendous. If you're a bass fisherman and you want to fish in the Tim's Ford Classic, go to Facebook and look up the Tim's Ford Bass Club, and all of the information is there. Come join me and fish in the tournament. So anyway, tomorrow I'm fishing, and then Sunday is the Easter, and on top of that, I'm back in the market because I'm going to church, Easter Sunday church, with my wife at my daughter's church in Madison, Alabama, because my granddaughter, my 11-year-old granddaughter, is getting baptized in between services. So I got to be there at 10. Yeah, she's getting baptized at 10:15. So we got to be there for that. Then we're going to stay for church, and then we're doing the Easter at her house, which means the weekend is shot, right? So the weekend's completely shot, and I got to get the seed down, which means I got to get the grass cut. So I took a walk on a wild side, and I cut this morning at like 7:30, 7:45.
Not bad.
Well, no, but usually I'm at my desk. I'm in my studio. I'm at my desk. I'm getting my stuff together. Especially I got a baseball game to do today.
Yard's not that big. I probably get it under in 30 minutes.
No, I did it. I did not only the yard around the main house, but then I did the yard in the back 40 around the barn and everything out. It took a couple of hours, and I had to seed. So then I went around seeding, overseeding, the yard around the house. So basically, I did not get into the studio until 10 o'clock this morning. That's when I got in studio after I showered, got cleaned up. I got in at 10 o'clock. And it has been like drinking water from a fire hose. People are wanting to get into the golf tournament. I got orders coming in. I got people want to advertise on the station. It's been nuts. It's been nuts right now. And so I don't know. The show could totally suck today. It already probably sucks. I probably already, our boy LSU Lynch has probably turned it off already. By the way, today's helmets.
You probably could ask him. He could have helped you out.
Those of you that are watching, yeah, maybe. I don't know what he does. Those of you that are watching on WZZN TV, see today's helmet array here at the studio. Grizz, what you're seeing here is the Green Bay Packers helmet. I assume you can see this. I'm looking at. I don't have it on TV. All right, so the Green Bay Packers helmet is out just because I like the Green Bay Packers. This here helmet. This is. Do you recognize this, Chris?
Is that the Vipers?
This is the Birmingham Iron.
Oh, that's the Iron.
Okay, in honor of talking to Zach. Yeah, in honor of talking to Zach Keilman today. This is the Birmingham Iron mini helmet. So that's out there because I was the voice of the Birmingham Iron. This is the original Vipers helmet.
Okay.
Okay, we had one yesterday, but because we're going to talk some arena, that's the original Vipers helmet. And this is Jim Brown's helmet from his rookie year of 1957 when the Browns used to put the numbers on the helmet.
I do like that. I do like that with theirs.
They only did it for a year, but the Browns used to put the numbers on the helmet, kind of like the Alabama. That's the only thing I wouldn't mind that again. But anyway, that's the Jim Brown helmet.
Talking about the Grissom helmet. That's what you're talking about. That's the Grissom. Okay.
That's not the Grissom helmet.
That's the
Grissom.
Grissom
one
helmet.
that looks too much like Grissom. I almost put it up there because it looks like Clemson.
That was the Grissom helmet when I was there because we had the Brown. We embraced the Brown.
My first coaching job was at in high school, Livonia Bulldogs, and their helmet is orange with a blue face mask and a blue paw with white trim on the side. It looks like Clemson's, but it's blue and not purple.
Okay, yeah.
It'll make an appearance here at some particular point in time, but I didn't put it out today because I didn't want it to look like Clemson and then say, well, look at.
Yeah, I'm looking at that Clemson helmet that we have over there. It's just it's too Clemson-y for me.
I need more mini helmets. I want to have like a mini helmet array every day up here. So anybody that wants to donate mini helmets, or I guess I can buy them. But anybody who wants to donate mini helmet, well, Wolverine Dan said he's going to give me a Lions mini helmet and a Michigan mini helmet. That's what he said. I don't know if that's true or not. All right, let me get a break. When we come back, phone calls. Paulie in the Cape. Haven't heard from him in a few weeks. And Chris are up. We got room behind them. Help the show not suck today. 256-576-4977. on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
You're listening to the Thom Abraham Show on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
By now, you know about Eagle Masonry and Insulation, and maybe you know that Eagle also does landscaping and dirt work. But how about after paint work? Shower doors, shelving, and mirrors, all taken care of by Eagle, the same Eagle that takes care of all your masonry, insulation, and landscaping needs. Eagle brings the same level of expertise to all these disciplines, and they're ready to provide you with a free quote. The website is the same, insulatewitheagle.com, as is the phone number, 256-755-1556. Give them a call and see what Eagle can do for you. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money.
The good folks at Wendy's have a revolutionary new product for you. Introducing the new Orange Dreamsicle Frosty. It's like a time machine that takes you all the way back to now, the year 2024. It's the classic creamy, orangey flavor you remember. Dare I say, it's new-timey. It's the flavor you grew up with, just all grown up. Head over to your local Wendy's establishment and get yours while supplies last. The new Orange Dreamsicle Frosty. Here for the now, for now.
Limited time only at participating Wendy's.
You've got to experience Toyotathon at Bill Penny Toyota. They've got the selection with over 700 new Toyotas to choose from. And they've got the extras with Bill Penny perks and a 10-year unlimited warranty. So get on over to Bill Penny Toyota today and experience Toyotathon. Bill Penny Toyota in Huntsville and online at BillPennyToyota.com. Bill Penny's Toyota 10-year unlimited warranty is valid through the 10th year of ownership. Valid on new vehicles only. See dealer for details.
I'm attorney Gary Lackey. If you've been injured and need a lawyer right now, do you know who you really get?
I'm attorney Jennifer Lackey. You want to talk to your lawyer. My clients talk to me.
And me. I'm attorney Justin Lackey. We're the ones that you talk to.
And we're the ones who handle your personal injury case.
And we'll take care of it.
The Lackey Law Firm. 1-800-4-RIGHTS.
No representation is made that the quality of the legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
Normally, when you call a roofing company, all you hear is, you need a new roof. Not when you call Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Since 1965, the folks at Fleming have been focused on what you need, whether it's an easy repair or a full roof replacement, commercial or residential. And when it comes to storm damage, you want Fleming on your side. They know all the ins and outs of insurance claims and will guide you through the entire process. Log on FlemingHSV.com and book your free estimate today. Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up.
From heirloom diamonds to contemporary jewels, Loring & Company is the place to find something truly special. Whether shopping for a diamond ring for that once-in-a-lifetime occasion or marking a milestone birthday or personal achievement with a Rolex watch, you'll find just the thing in our edit of the world's most sought-after brands, including David Yurman, Roberto Coin, Marco Bicego, and Fopay. Expect a treasure trove of the world's most unique, even breathtaking earrings, rings, necklaces, and bracelets, making choosing just one piece a challenge in itself. Loring & Company Jewelers on Airport Road.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Emily Owen. For this Friday night, clouds will begin to increase. We'll see low temperatures fall into the lower 50s for the overnight. Looking ahead into your Saturday, expect plenty of sunshine. High temperatures warming into the mid and upper 70s for the afternoon. It could also get pretty breezy at times. Gusts up to 20 miles per hour will be possible. Rain stays out of the forecast until late Monday night. I'm Fox 54 meteorologist Emily Owen on your home for ESPN Radio 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
College football.
The ball is caught. It is a touchdown.
Major League Baseball.
That ball is gone. A home run.
This is your place for complete sports coverage all year long. 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
I told you I'm drowning over here. I didn't do one. There is no trifecta today. We don't always do trifectas this time. I did not say that there was going to be a trifecta today. I did not. I said I said it would be Football Friday today. Grumpy's like, dude, you said there'd be a trifecta. Make one up already. I mean, I would have had Alabama, Clemson, Alabama -3.5 against Clemson. And then what? The Braves and the Phillies for the 3 games, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And what? The race? I mean, what or pick your Final 4? I got a stinking Friday trifecta today. Probably could have had one. But I'm dying over here.
UFL game tied in.
UFL, Birmingham, and Arlington. I haven't seen the line yet. I look at me, Grizz. And then my coffee, I'm drinking my coffee. I didn't even have lunch. Usually I eat lunch at 11:30 before the show. So I didn't eat lunch. I'll probably, I wither away to nothing during the show. I might just fall out.
Poor baby.
I didn't have my second cup of coffee, as you can tell here. I'm not
just
very...
grounds.
Yeah. So my coffee, I'm having my coffee over here, and apparently I got a Keurig here at the office, and my Keurig must have blown up because I get my coffee over here. I get halfway through the cup of coffee, and the next thing you know, there's a half an inch of grounds at the bottom of the cup.
Yep. Sediment. We call that sediment.
It was worse than sediment. It wasn't like it was not melted. It was like just grounds. It was like pee. So now I got this. Now I got a Diet Mountain Dew because that gives me some juice. That gives me some. I don't know. Let me talk to Paulie in a cape. He probably wishes there was. I'm sorry I disappointed my listeners. I let you guys down. I told you the show sucks today. Paulie, what's going on?
First of all, I put on pause watching the Best of Lawrence Welk to get on the phone on my holiest day of the week to get a trifecta. And all I hear from you is that you're the number 1 Yankee fan? You better come up with the trifecta of the 4 college games because Tennessee's playing tonight.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, I know.
You got to be kidding me.
I'm a disappointment. What can I tell you? I'm a failure. What can I tell you? I screwed up. I'm sorry. I let you guys down. I botched the whole show. Should have just done a trifecta. I thought that game would have been enough to carry us last night.
I'm no longer being a Roman Catholic. I'm going to change my religion because it's the only holy day I look forward to. Yeah. And now it's taken away from me.
Well, this is the thing, part of it, okay? I mean, just tell you part of it. It's Good Friday. Yeah. And I mean, do we, you know what I mean? It is. It's Good Friday. I feel a little weird if I were doing a trifecta on Good Friday. I mean, it feels a little bit weird. You know what I mean?
All I'm telling you is this.
Yeah.
When you're walking at the Holy Gate, and St. Peter goes, hey, you remember that night? Remember that Friday you forgot the trifecta?
Well, St. Peter's going to be like, I'd have had Alabama minus the 3.5.
Yeah. Well, anyways, I can't believe you don't have a trifecta with the final. With the March Madness, UFL.
Yeah. It's a bad job by me.
Anyways, go Tennessee.
Yeah.
Go Yankees. And only 4 more lovely Thursdays until the draft.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
Yeah.
All right. Do something next Friday, huh? I won't be calling until the draft. Okay?
No. I do. I have one next week. It's Augusta next week. You know what I mean? So I got the.
So we're gonna wonder who's gonna win.
That's Wednesday. Yeah, Wednesday. Next week on Wednesday, we'll be doing our 3. Give me your 3-man team for the Masters, and then on Friday we'll do something. We'll have something Friday for the Final 4. You know, give me the 2 teams that are going to make the national championship game.
Well, I'll give you this one attaboy to get your stuff going, and let me get back to my Best of Lawrence Welk. He was doing progressive polka on the accordion, so let me get back to that.
All right. Appreciate you. I mean, dude's bagging the show for Lawrence Welk. That's how bad I am today. He's bagging the show for Lawrence freaking Welk. Who is this girl from Florida?
She just called in and was asking.
Is she on the line or no?
No, she's not on the line.
Some girl from Florida called.
Silly girl.
Looking for it. Silly girl. Is that what she called herself? Silly girl from Florida called asking for the trifecta.
Yeah.
I've been in so many markets. I still got listeners everywhere.
Grumpy's gone, by the way. Chris is still on hold, though.
Grumpy bailing on me. Smokey Mike says there better be a fecta next week. It's Augusta time. Smoky Mike. Smoky Mike, by the way, a 2 seed. Where's my notes? Grizz? Oh, right in front of me.
I don't know. You didn't
thought
tell me
I
to
lost
print
my
them out.
notes. No, I thought I lost my notes. In the Sweet 16 of producers in the Thom Abraham Show, the 1 seeds are Damon Amendolara, probably the overall number 1 seed. Damon Amendolara is a 1 seed. Jonathan Schaefer is a 1 seed. Grizz is the longest serving producer in the history of the Thom Abraham Show. He is a 1 seed. He's lasted just because he's lasted everybody else. Just because he's outlasted everybody. And then Cletus is a 1 seed. Oh yeah, no. Cletus is a 1 seed. There's no doubt about it. Cletus is a 1 seed.
Damon through all the way to Cletus. Feels good.
Those are the 4 number 1 seeds. The 2 seeds in the Thom Abraham Show producer 2 seeds are Smoky Mike's a 2 seed. The Swede. You guys remember the Swede? The Swede is a 2 seed. Joe Hunk is a 2 seed. And Jason Marks is a 2 seed. Oh, yeah. Jason Marks is a 2 seed. Chris, I have the...
It's like 1A.
I have the show up now on the big screen TV in the studio. You look really good. I mean, you look squished a little bit, but I mean, it's very sharp. Did you get a new camera?
No, it's the same ones we've been using.
Oh, it's really good. It looks good.
It does look good. It does look really good on.
It's just a little squished.
Screen and
you look skinny. You almost look like that. They're Grant Nelson a little bit. You know, a little bit skinny.
My goodness, I can
Those
think I
were
can
the
grow
2
the stash
seeds.
the same way, but that's about it.
About it. The 3 seeds of Thom Abraham Show producers: Crazy Charlie, Tin Cup, Kenny Patrick, whose real name was Patrick Kenny. His radio name was Kenny Patrick. His name was Patrick Kenny. I'm like, what are you doing, KP? I mean, if Patrick Kenny, what's wrong with you? Could have been PK. He's the 3 seed. And Joe Lopez, who we called Chico. We used to play Chico and the Man at the beginning of the show. Your 4 seeds are Easy Street, Richard Street, who died about 6 months into the show. He was 43 years old, Grizz, and he was a what do you call it? A personal trainer. He was in great shape. Personal trainer, 43 years old. Easy Street. And that was back in the day when you didn't have automation. We were a Miami Dolphins affiliate.
Yeah.
And I got a phone call from the station saying, why isn't the Dolphin game on? And they're like, Richard Street was supposed to be doing the Dolphin game, and he's not there.
Yeah.
So you need to get, you need to get Richard Street and find him. And I called him. He didn't answer the phone. I called his sister, and I said, could you go over and wake up Richard? She went over to the house. He was dead in his easy chair, had an aneurysm and fell out. Right, it was sad. It was sad. He died on this. Yeah, but he also wasn't. He wasn't great on. He wasn't very good. I don't remember if the Dolphins won again. He wasn't a very. He was an efficient producer, but he didn't bring me anything on the air. He's a 4 seed. He is a 4 seed.
The dead guy. That
guy's a 4 seed. Mr. Met is a 4 seed. All right, Kerry Loney. Now mostly because he only had a very short period of time. Very, very short period of time. He's a 4 seed.
He would have been up higher if a little bit longer, probably.
Seatown is a 4 seed. Seatown is the kid that, you know the story. Seatown is the producer I had that I made cry.
Yeah. Yes.
Because I asked him for a 2-minute recap of the Daytona 500. He was a big NASCAR fan. And the Daytona 500 ran, and I said, give me a 2-minute package on the Daytona 500. And he gave me this package, and it was like War and Peace. It was like 4.5 minutes. 4.5 minutes
I do that
is an
to you
eternity.
sometimes. It's okay. I just
it's
don't
too
cry.
long. When I say 2 minutes, right. When I say 2 minutes, I want 2 minutes. And I told him, I said, Seatown, this is an excellent piece, but it's too long. I can't play a 4.5-minute highlight
sounds
package.
good, man.
No. It was too long. So the next thing you know, the show starts, and I'm looking across through the glass. He was one of my producers in Nashville. I'm looking through the glass over there, and I'm like, where the hell's my producer? And all I see is his hands. And he's on his knees underneath the table with his hands up in the air like this, pushing the levers, because he's crying. There's no crying on the Thom Abraham Show. He's a 4 seed. And Archie Shea. Archie Shea's a 4 seed. Well, there you go. That's the Sweet 16 of Thom Abraham Show producers. Should I save this? I might just save it. Chris is up next. Chris, welcome to the show. How are you?
Doing good, Tom. How are you?
I'm fantastic.
Hey, I'm an LSU fan, so I just need to put that out there because of my comments, so people will know that I'm not biased toward Alabama. But I agree with you on Coach Oates out coaching Coach Davis, and the move he made to put that kid in the second half reminded me a lot of when Nick Saban brought in Jalen Hurts in the second half of that SEC championship to beat Georgia. And I just thought it was a brilliant move, and North Carolina had no answers for it at all.
Yeah, well, the brilliant move that Saban had made, see, in that case, Tua was hurt, and he didn't have a choice. He had to go to Jalen Hurts in that case. The brilliant move was when he brought Tua in to replace Jalen Hurts, who was 26-2 as a starter at the time in the national championship game against Georgia. And they were getting beat 13-0 at the half, and he benches his star quarterback to put Tua Tagovailoa in the game, a true freshman who brings the team back to win in the overtime, 2nd and 26. So that one was even brilliant. But
you're right, I got him confused. I'm sorry.
Right, and then a year later, Jalen Hurts returns the favor, but that was because Tua was hurt, and he goes out, and then Jalen goes in there and does his thing. But yeah. I mean, look, what Grant Nelson did, and then if you hear the comments of Nate Oates, I don't have them in front of me here, but the comments of Nate Oates afterwards, he says that, Mark Sears told him to run the play for Grant Nelson. They said, he went to Sears and says, what do you think we ought to run here? In a point in time when they're down by a point. And he says, Grant Nelson's hot. Run a play for Grant Nelson. And that just shows, the way these guys are and how they feel about each other.
Oh, it was brilliant, though. Just watching how the second half unfolded after he brought that kid in. I was like, yeah, they ain't got no answer for him. This thing's over.
No doubt. I hear you.
Other thing I was going to tell you was other SEC teams should be happy about Alabama's run because the national media has been bashing the fact that we got so many teams into the tournament.
Yeah.
And I believe Alabama was the 5 seed in the SEC tournament. So it kind of shows that, we had a bad run with the other teams, but Alabama's showing that we're kind of worthy of being in the tournament with that many teams.
Well, especially if Tennessee gets to, actually Alabama was a 2 seed. There were 3 teams tied with the same record, and the tiebreakers, Alabama was the 2 seed in the SEC tournament, but they're a 4 seed in the national tournament. But Tennessee is a 2 seed in the national tournament. And if Tennessee wins tonight, which they should, now you got 2 SEC teams in the Elite 8. Who knows? You might get 2 SEC. Could get 2 SEC teams in the Final Four. How about if Alabama and Tennessee both end up in the Final Four? And look, Alabama or Clemson's got to go. I mean, it's crazy right now. Neither team has ever been to the Final Four. Clemson hasn't even been to the Elite 8 in 43 years. Alabama's 20 years. Clemson is 43 years. It's nuts.
And also, SEC baseball is stacked this year, so there's a good chance that we take over the NCAA tournament again this year and that.
I love SEC baseball.
I mean, they had LSU. Loaded. They had LSU Arkansas on ESPN too. That's the reason why you didn't have MLB baseball on yesterday. I mean, when that's on at the same time as a NCAA game, that's college basketball game. So that's huge.
Yeah. No, SEC baseball. I love SEC baseball.
We drove down to Baton Rouge Saturday just to watch LSU baseball from Muscle Shoals. It was about a 6-hour drive. So.
Wow.
We absolutely love it, and we go down quite a bit. So
you got a beautiful facility down there too for it. What's that thing hold? Like 9,000?
They're about to remodel it.
Yeah, It's big. It's bigger than Toyota Field. I think it holds 9,000.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We had the second highest attendance in LSU baseball history Saturday. It was about 12,600, I believe.
Unbelievable. 12,000 for an SEC baseball game early in the year. All right. Good job by you, Chris. Appreciate
you taking my call. Happy Good Friday to y'all.
All right. Appreciate you. Thank you.
Holds about 10,326.
Kramer says that the trifecta this week is the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. Thank you, Kramer. It's a good job by you. There's your trifecta.
Sears been, he scored at least 20 points. I don't know how many straight games, or 20 out of the last 22 or something. Late, he's been great for us. So I went to him, when we were down there late, and I said, what do we got around? He said, forget it, man. Get it to Grant. Grant's cooking. Let's go with Grant. Let's roll. And look, when you got your leading scorer and best player telling you to run plays for somebody else on the team, I think we use the word mudita a lot that we stole from Coach Murphy with softball. That's the definition of mudita.
The heck is mudita? Do we know what is mudita? I don't know. Maybe we'll find out. All right, let's get a break. Come back. Still some time to fit a phone call in there. We'll tell you what's going on top of the hour. Going to have more open lines as well in the second hour. It's the Tom Abraham Show, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Orthopedics. You're thinking bones, muscles, and joints, right? Well, what else comes to mind? Maybe your spine, therapy, or an arm cast? What about sports medicine? What do you think about when you hear that? Are you thinking about the largest orthopedic group in the state, caring for the most student athletes in North Alabama? Or about the fact that they are teamed up with the state's largest hospital-based sports medicine program to provide care to more schools in North Alabama than any other group? If you are, you have TOC Sports and Huntsville Hospital Sports Center on the brain. If you're not, you should, because Huntsville Hospital Sports Center and TOC Sports have partnered for more than 2 decades to establish a state-of-the-art team of certified athletic trainers and orthopedic specialists who successfully continue to meet and exceed the sports medicine needs of schools, athletes, coaches, and parents in our community. Committing to kids, committing to community, committing to care. That's Huntsville Hospital Sports Center and TOC Sports.
The kitchen is the heart of any home. It's where the family gathers. It's where kids discover old recipes and make them their own. Just starting out, or just now getting started on the dream kitchen you've always wanted?
I'm Chris Haygood, and from all of us here at Bob Wallace Appliance to the home builders and the homeowners of the Huntsville area, a heartfelt thank you for buying local. We're in Huntsville, Florence, and Keilman, and online at bobwallaceappliance.com.
No payments for 90 days on 23 and 24 models. Financing as low as 0% and the best deals of the year on America's best-selling truck for 47 years in a row. Hi, folks. Bobby White back again for Woody Anderson Ford, and I'm here to tell you it's Truck Month. The best deals on F-150, Explorer, Bronco, Edge, Bronco Sport, and Escape. During Truck Month, get financing as low as 1.9% for up to 72 months on 2023 F-150 Crew Cabs, and lease payments as low as $375 a month. That's a 36-month lease with $62.82 due at signing, 0 security deposit, just tax tag title, and your good credit. Offer ends 4/2/24. Call 539-9441 for complete details. At Woody Anderson Ford, we have over 40 Bronco Sports and nearly 50 Explorers and about a dozen full-size Broncos, all with great sales incentives and no payment for 90 days. Truck Month only happens once a year. Woody Anderson Ford, hope to see you soon.
Situated downtown on Clinton Avenue, you'll find the Church Street family's take on delicious seafood and more. Sea Salt. At Sea Salt, the food speaks for itself. Fresh oysters, shrimp and lobster, and non-seafood fare. Plus a large selection of wines, regional and local beers on tap, and a full bar. Catch the downtown vibe with Sea Salt's unique outdoor city street and patio seating with a view of Jesse Andrews' mural, bringing an underwater world to life. No reservations necessary. Sea Salt, 114 Clinton Avenue.
When I chose a garage door company, I did my homework. I needed Precision Overhead Garage Door Service. They have a 5-star Google rating. I checked their reviews and liked what their customers had to say. Precision Overhead Garage Door has lifetime warranty packages. Same-day service if I call before 2 p.m. If they can't make it the same day, my service call fee the next day is waived. They did a 25-point safety inspection on the door and operator. Now that's peace of mind. Residential, commercial, and gate services. Precision Overhead Garage Door Service. Call 256-400-4500.
Are you tired of power outages disrupting your life? It's time for a Generac standby generator from Current Electrical. Storms may rage outside, but inside your family's powered up. So why choose Current Electrical for your generator needs? 1, we offer a wide range of models to suit every budgeted energy requirement. 2, our project managers handle every step of the process: power, gas, permitting, and inspections. 3, our certified technicians install your generator with precision, ensuring peace of mind. Don't wait for the next blackout. Call 256-880-1880 or visit us online at GenSuperstore.com.
Alumni Hall is the ultimate shopping experience for Alabama and Auburn fans. Located right here in Huntsville, come shop the best selection of officially licensed apparel, accessory, and gifts. Alumni Hall has the newest products from Nike, Under Armour, Yeti, New Era, Champion, Columbia, Southern Tide, Peter Millar, and more. And you can earn cash back with their Hall Pass rewards. Alumni Hall, located in the Bridge Street Shopping Center, or shop anytime at alumnihall.com. Alumni Hall, where fans shop. Look the part. Go to Alumni Hall.
There's the phone and no one to answer.
256-576-4977.
And as a result, we got many phone calls and letters.
Give us a call on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline today. 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
By now that TOC is North Alabama's largest sports medicine provider, and they can take care of you whether it's an injury due to an athletic injury, or maybe it's a work accident, or maybe you're just breaking down a little bit. TOC has the right specialists for you, and most of the schools in the region use TOC Sports. The Havoc use TOC Sports. Alabama A&M uses them as well. Then you need TOC. All right, when you're injured, when you're hurting, you need TOC. They got specialists for everything. They're just outstanding. All right, go to lines. Grumpy will wrap up the hour. Grumpy, welcome in. How are you?
Hey, pretty good, man. Yeah, you're one of the busiest guys I know, so I won't rib you too hard about the no Friday trifecta.
Yeah, I screwed up today. You just
can't mention the fact that you mowed the yard for 2 hours and didn't have time.
I had to get it in.
I'd leave that part
out. I know, and I probably should have left out that I did. But if I didn't do it, when am I going to do it? I mean, I just it would be next week,
man. It's not the end of the world, man. You got a great show, and we all love the show, so that's done. But hey, is there the way the bracket is? I'm in my truck. I don't have. Can Alabama and Tennessee meet in the finals?
Oh yeah. Alabama,
wouldn't that be something?
Wouldn't that be something? Is right, but Alabama, if they were to get to the Final Four. Alabama will then run into Connecticut, and Connecticut is a lawnmower right now. They're destroying everybody. Tennessee, Tennessee plays Creighton tonight. Purdue, and that's going to be tough. Purdue and Gonzaga are on the other side of the Midwest, so Tennessee would have to go through Purdue probably if Purdue gets through Gonzaga to get in. But they're on opposite sides in the Natty end of things. So yeah,
I know this is a short segment, so you can answer it after or whenever you want to do it. But with that deep water at Tim's Ford, how are you going to fish it, man? Appreciate it.
I'll be looking for windy banks. The fish are moving up right now to spawn. The smallmouth are moving up. Water temps are around 60 degrees or so. The largemouth are already up, and Tim's is deep, but it has a lot of pockets. I mean, all of them pockets are shallow. And so what I'll look for is wherever the wind is blowing, I'll be throwing a spinnerbait, I'll be throwing a chatterbait, I'll be throwing a crankbait. Wherever the wind is blowing against a bluff wall, where the smallmouth will like to go to, or against a shallow flat, we'll just be firing up in there and see if the moving, see if we can get them with the moving baits. Otherwise, I'll go back into the back of the pockets, and I'll be throwing a creature bait around blowdowns and shallow areas. I've got a lot of shallow spots. There's a lot of spots you can fish Tim's less than 4 feet of water, where the spawning fish are right now. That's what tomorrow's about. I got to find my starting spot. They won't be deep until the water's 75, 80 degrees. So there's no need to fish deep right now. All right, hour number 1 is in the hopper. Coming up, Zach Keilman will join us. from the UFL podcast. We'll talk a little bit about what to expect as the UFL gets started tomorrow on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
This is SportsCenter.
Good morning, I'm Doug Brown. The Sweet 16 included all 8 of the 1 and 2 seeds. 3 of those teams are now out. North Carolina is the first 1 seed to go. Alabama beats the Tar Heels 89-87. Clemson takes out 2 seed Arizona 77-72. And Illinois beats 2 seed Iowa State 72-69. The Rangers had 2 celebrations Thursday night, one to honor the franchise's first World Series title, and another after Jonah Heim's walk-off hit in the 10th for a 4-3 opening day win over the Cubs. Thousands of Oakland A's fans spent opening day in the parking lot outside the Coliseum, protesting team owner John Fisher, who hopes to move the team to Las Vegas. Inside the stadium, the Guardians beat the A's 8-0.
WCZN, Union Grove, Huntsville, Alabama. 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
The kitchen is the heart of any home. It's where the family gathers. It's where kids discover old recipes and make them their own. Just starting out or just now getting started on the dream kitchen you've always wanted?
I'm Chris Haygood, and from all of us here at Bob Wallace Appliance to the home builders and the homeowners of the Huntsville area, a heartfelt thank you for buying local. We're in Huntsville, Florence, and Keilman, and online at bobwallaceappliance.com.
The state's largest orthopedic group is growing to meet the needs of the patients in our community. The Orthopedic Center has long been the most trusted name in orthopedics in North Alabama. So as our area continues on the fast track, so does the need for premier orthopedic care anywhere and anytime you need it. TOC is proud to announce the opening of our new locations in Albertville and Hampton Cove, along with the grand opening of our newest office in Decatur. These clinics will offer the same high-quality orthopedic care you have come to associate with TOC, with the convenience of being closer to home. As a patient, your time is your most precious asset, and we recognize that at TOC. That's why we are also proud to announce the opening of our urgent ortho clinics to handle those bumps and bruises that need prompt attention. These clinics are available to care for acute orthopedic injuries with no appointment necessary. With 38 physicians, 20 centers of excellence, and now more than a dozen locations to serve you, TOC will continue to be the name you turn to for the best orthopedic care at the right time. Visit our website at visittoc.com for more information. TOC, helping you live a better life.
3 down, 3 to go.
Let's get out of here and head to L.A.
It's the Crimson Tide and the Clemson Tigers in the Elite Eight.
Dead on 3, bottom. Oh, Mark Sears, a huge bank first 3.
Join us Saturday, live from Crypto.com Arena in Los Angeles, on your home for Alabama basketball. The Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
Sports Talk 24/7 365. Your full-time sports station.
You're doing a great job. Keep up the good work.
Is 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Doesn't anyone do any work around this joint anymore?
The opinions of Thom Abraham are not necessarily the opinions of the radio station or anybody associated with the radio station or ownership. These are strictly his own opinions, and sometimes they're not even his opinions.
You need to be more like a dog. Like what you guys are doing. You've got your fingertip on the pulse of your listeners. Guys know what they're talking about. Be a dog. God bless the show. You are the Messiah. We need more dogs. This is the best show on radio.
The big dog, Thom Abraham, is here with you.
Hey, I see you. Hey, I see you, dog.
So settle in and get your bark on.
That's my dog.
Now live. Here he is, the big dog.
Let's go, baby!
Thom Abraham.
How you doing? 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 How you doing?
Look, I don't speak Spanish.
I don't know how to say this, so I'm going to choose my words very carefully. I think you're a psycho.
Do you know who I am?
I mean, that guy sounds like Elle McPherson farting into Miles Davis' trumpet.
I guess I'm on here. Am I on? Can somebody respond? Get off my lawn.
I have to drag my Yankee ass out of here.
show because I got the greatest listeners in the world, and anytime I ask a question, I seem to get an immediate answer. We did, let's just to clear up that last segment, mudita. All right, somebody sent me the definition of mudita. Mudita is a dharmic concept of joy, particularly and especially sympathetic or vicarious joy, the pleasure that comes from delighting in other people. It's a Chinese term, mudita. So there you go. That's what Nate Oates apparently was talking about yesterday. I'll have some mudita tomorrow in glorious 4K when the Birmingham Stallions take on the Arlington Renegades to get things kicked off in the UFL. Now, I am fishing tomorrow, and the game is at noon Central Time, so I will watch it when I get back. All right? I'll probably get back in about 3 o'clock or so, and then I'll watch the game at that particular point in time. But I am a big fan of everything spring when it comes to football. I'm a big fan of everything football. You know that. But the UFL is going to get started, combination of the XFL and the USFL, and then the AFL gets started later in the year as well. So joining us now to talk about all of that is Zach Keilman from the UFL podcast. He's on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline. Zach, welcome in. How are you?
Tom, it is good to hear from you, man. It's great. It's almost like now we're getting a yearly conversation on all things spring. But, yeah, glad to be back on. Glad to be talking about now a third iteration, it sounds like.
Yeah. Yeah, I noticed that I did not get invited to spring stock there, wherever you guys are. Are you in Arlington, or where are you for this spring stock thing that you decided to cut me out of it all 100% after I did the deal in Birmingham?
Oh, well, you are putting me on the spot, but, to be fair, I was assuming you'd be fishing, so
I am fishing.
What I was wondering. But, yeah, we are going to be in Arlington. It's going to be starting 9 a.m. Central Time, basically east side of Choctaw Stadium when this all gets going, and it's going to be a great show this year. Plenty of our usual guests and all that in the community. But, yeah, I mean, talk about it. The Game of Champions really is what's being labeled, and, it's the hype's definitely been built around it. It's going to be a good time.
Yeah, for those of you that don't know, the Arlington Renegades won the XFL last year, and, of course, our Birmingham Stallions won the USFL, and so they're opening up playing against each other to get things started. How much similarity is there in their rosters from last year? I mean, I know that there's some changes with the Stallions. Both Scarborough decided to retire. They do have some parts that are pretty much the same as last year. But how much do you think are these teams similar to what they were last year?
To me, I think what I've seen a lot of is you do have some of your core guys that are trusted from previous rosters coming over, but to be honest, there's a lot of turnover in several of these rosters because the competition is so much more restricted. Right. For those just coming in, remember, we're going from 16 teams down to 8, so we have to cut down the talent by half, 50-man rosters for each team. Birmingham and Arlington, I'd say, are probably the two rosters that kept a lot of more of their core guys from their previous iterations than, say, like Memphis Showboats or a Houston Roughnecks who had stabs change out. They're definitely a lot closer. What is different, by the way, to me, and something that came out just as of today, is Matt Corral being the starting quarterback here for the Stallions. Jamar Smith not getting that nod. So, it's, again, tight competition and higher profile competition now with the cut-down rosters.
I was going to ask you about that because I saw the Fox 6 deal. They had this deal where you can predict the yards and all that kind of stuff of the various quarterbacks that are going to be playing. And it said Jamar Smith for Birmingham. And I was like, wow, I thought Matt Corral would have won that starting job. Of course, the former Ole Miss quarterback. You guys know Matt Corral. So Matt Corral has been named the starter for the Stallions. That's what you're telling me.
That's how I understand it. Now, Skip Holtz has been on record saying that he is going to play two quarterbacks. But given some of the roster moves that's been revealed over the last 24 hours, that's looking more like it's Matt Corral and Adrian Martinez that are going to be the main guys, unless Jamar. Unless I'm mistaken, Jamar is inactive. But I have to reiterate that.
Really?
I know for a fact that Corral is the main guy heading forward, though.
I don't know much about the Martinez kid, Adrian Martinez out of Kansas State. I do. I remember him at K-State. Okay, I know who Adrian Martinez is.
Much overrunning archetype, but he does have a decent cannon, but very much a speedster.
you know, when you went from 16 teams in the two leagues, eight in each league, down to 8, you got to think that this is the best talent we have seen. Because even going all the way back to, you know, when the Alliance was there in the XFL, you know, during the COVID year and everything ended up shutting down and so on. Again, 2 leagues. This is now 1 league of 8 teams. It's got to be pretty good talent, I would think.
Oh, I fully believe that this will be some of the best football we've seen for spring football, arguably since 2020, the XFL, which you talk about the 2020 version of the XFL, and that's widely considered arguably the best iteration that the sport's seen in this realm in our 21st century. So, yeah, I'm very much expecting that. And again, like we've talked, it's because of that. You know, you have to be way more fine combing of rosters when you have that cut down. You know, not to mention you go through 2 rounds of drafts with the super draft and the supplemental drafts, and earlier in the winter, and then now you've got cutting down from 75 per roster to 50. Yeah, I mean, some guys. There's been a lot of guys that made these all-pro teams on both leagues that aren't even on rosters, and at a surprising rate, because you have new talent plus old talent, and these teams are really trying to make sure that it's as close to top quality as ever before.
Yeah, I mean, I noticed that Slade Bolden had been released. You know, a wide receiver from Alabama had been released by the Stallions. And you look at the schools, I think that's the thing that I noticed the most. You know, I'm looking at the Stallions roster right now, and I'm seeing Notre Dame, Ohio State, Pitt, Alabama, Arizona, Clemson, Michigan, Ole Miss, Nebraska, Illinois, Miami of Florida, Ole Miss, Duke. These are all, you know, Power 5 type kids. I mean, this is, whereas in the last couple of years, you'd see more of the group of 5 and even some D2 and D3 type guys. He said, this roster is loaded with Power 5 players.
Yeah, no, Birmingham, they've done a great job. Zach Potter as general manager, I mean, there's a reason why they're a 2-time champ in the USFL and why so many pundits and media even list Birmingham as really the team to beat right now. They've done an excellent job at not only bringing the best of the best from the 2 championship rosters back, but they've loaded up and consistently found ways to upgrade at positions as this whole UFL merger has evolved. It's amazing what Skip Holtz and Zach Potter have done, and it definitely, if you're a fan of the Stallions, you have to be as confident as ever. You know, even from the last 2 years, you have to feel like you're one of the top dogs, and they're the guy that you say, hey, if you're the king and you're aiming for the king, you best not miss.
Jack Keilman, our guest here, as we talk about the UFL as they get ready to launch. So Skip Holtz wins back-to-back championships, could win again this year, like you say, they're the favorite. How long can this guy stay in the UFL? What do you know about what the coaches are making in the UFL? Because you would think that Skip Holtz would be a hot product or a hot prospect to go back to, a Power 5 type job. We see so many of them open every year.
Right. Now Holtz to me is an interesting situation because he's publicly, whenever he's been asked about these roles, he's very much stated that he really likes the space. And I think it's more of a personal choice where he's not as much wanting to go back to the college scene because it's a bit different. Kind of comes off, the way I've heard him, is almost like how Nick Saban talks about the new with the NIL and different elements of college and how it's evolved. So he's very much in that category because I don't believe they're making, say, even for some money for coaching positions that are maybe coordinators. They're not making that I'm aware of. And even some of the coaches in the UFL, had to either drop pay for cuts or, some dropped off because of said cuts. Heinz Ward, from what I understand, is one of those that was in that case with the Brahmas before they switched out and were able to retain Wade Phillips to go to San Antonio. But, I mean, Skip, he's got his opportunities. We saw this year he was helping assist at Northwestern to a great capacity. So it's not like it's out of the realm of possibility. I just think that he very much likes the aspect of the underdog story here and the fact that he kind of gets to talk with professional guys in more of a sense with this job than, say, with the new scene in college.
It doesn't seem. Were you surprised, by the way, that it was only 8? Because I thought for sure that it would be 12. I thought we'd see 6 and 6 survive, and maybe it had to do with stadiums and wanting to make sure that these teams each had their own stadium. Were you surprised when it came out and we only landed with 8 teams total?
I was honestly shocked as well, Tom. You're not the only one. I think a lot of people thought they were at least going to get to 10. Was the deal? We'd at least see some extra teams. The best way I've been able to kind of equate 8 is, mostly the cost. They're thinking very long term with this. Both of them are combining. This feels like the one true best final shot to make this work. And I think the way they're looking at it is that if they get 8 to start, maybe they look to expand very near term if they feel this year's a big pop-off success and they can go back to that. Because there's plenty, the talent's clearly there. They definitely could have had a 9th and 10th team that have good quality football. But I almost feel like this is definitely something where they want to make sure they have a stable base, and then they can start trying to build out their base with, business investors and you name it. That's the only way I can feel that 8 was the most sense. Football, as we know, one of the most expensive sports you can run. And sometimes that's, for survivability's sake, that's probably what you're leaning into there.
Jack Keilman is our guest here as we talk about the UFL getting open. It does seem like the league is not that this is a TV product, it feels like. Great TV partners, there's no doubt about it. They do not seem to be overly interested in advertising for attendance. I don't know what you think you're going to get there at that. Could be. We know in St. Louis they'll get 30,000. I don't know if we'll get 30,000 at a game in Birmingham. I don't know what they're going to get there, if they'll have 20,000 for that game. D.C. is going to have great crowds. They're in the right size stadium where with 25,000 in a soccer stadium, it feels like it's packed. I love that. But it seems like the league is not overly interested in, they're not doing a radio deal. And I don't know if any of the teams have local radio. They have, they're gonna have the games on satellite radio, but it's going to be the simulcast of the TV product, which honestly I think is a disservice. I know I'm a radio guy that's done play-by-play for years, both in the Arena League and in spring leagues. I think it's a disservice to the listener, slap in the face that they don't have actual radio broadcasts, whether they're on satellite or local radio, and they're really not advertising anywhere. In terms of selling tickets, there hasn't been any interest, it seems like, in spending any money locally to get people in the stadium. However, they're going to have over 1 million people watching these games on TV. And they will be much more than that watches WNBA or soccer or any of those other types of things. But it does. You get the feel that all they care about is TV. Is that about right?
I think that if we're talking, I'll preset it like this. If we're talking, say, comparing it to, like, say, the USFL, which, Tom, you and I know that was very much more so focused on the TV, less on the attendance. If the attendance figures were great, that was a bonus, but the television was more the lean. I think in that essence, from going to those two, the UFL is definitely more focused on the attendance than that previous. I still do believe, though, like you're talking, the TV is definitely it. That's where, they want, again, you want to be not only sustainably coming back, but also the numbers continuously hitting the way they are, and possibly even better than they were last year. Because remember, now we're going from competing products to one said product on television, which should, in theory, raise the ratings to have both fan bases go a little higher up, which should be better for advertisers, better for even partners that are interested in wanting to invest in this. Tickets definitely are more of a factor, though. I will say, just any experience I've had with talking with folks in different markets, it feels like they are trying to push it a bit more with the ticket sales. But, yeah, it's a difference between their social media marketing, local marketing, and you can only go so far with social media. The grassroots stuff doesn't always get looked at, or maybe it's not as looked at as important by some people online, if you catch my drift. But I think that's really going to be what they're struggling. It's not only just getting local, but continuously showing up locally, and that people are buying in that it's not going to be gone after a year. And for your radio point, the only one I know that's a local deal is 98.9 out of Memphis is doing the broadcast for the Showboats, but that's about it.
Yeah.
And honestly, I hope to God that keeps expanding. Local radio is something, and I'll be honest, I come from a local radio background where I started in media, and it does get underrated. There's a different touch to it. I think that being able to describe play-by-play it's an art form. It's definitely lost with the television simulcast.
I have here in the studio, I did different mini helmets that I put up on the set here, depending on what the topic is going to be of the day. I have a Birmingham Iron helmet up there because I knew we were going to be talking a little bit about that. I also have a Tennessee Valley Vipers original Tennessee Valley Vipers mini helmet from back in the AF2 and then the AFL days when they became the Alabama Vipers. And I am guardedly excited about that as well. I am stunned, really, that this guy has been able to pull this off in terms of, the relaunch of the AFL, what the Commissioner Lee Hutton has done to get that done, and the markets that came back, including the Nashville Cats for the third time now. And they'll have Eli Gold on their games, and they've got Jeff Fisher involved, who is a friend of mine. And so, I'm excited about that for them. However, they're playing in the auditorium in Nashville as opposed to the Bridgestone Arena. The auditorium is a dump. I'm going to tell you right now, I did games in the. I was the voice of the Nashville Venom when they won one of the iterations of indoor football, and it's a dump. That is a kind of a mark against them that they weren't able to get into the Bridgestone Arena. I understand it because of hockey and everything else, but what's your take on this iteration of the AFL, and can that be successful starting about a month later than the UFL? Can it be successful at the same time?
So I've been very all over the place. This journey with the AFL, by the way, Tom, it has been a wild ride.
Sure has.
And that's even comparing, especially this iteration in particular, and that's even comparing like other spring football ventures the last few years and following those. This one, it's a roller coaster. They announced themselves back in February of last year to a lot of fanfare. Got quiet last summer for a little while, and then all of a sudden started kind of pumping a few things here and there. But, behind the scenes, there's some red flags that I got to wait and see on. For example, the Georgia Force, who are part of this league, they still don't have a venue. The season starts April 27th, by the way. They haven't announced it publicly. They claim, Lee Hutton, that is, has claimed on podcasts that he is expected to get a venue for them. But we're kind of cutting it close here. We got to take over ownership of the Philadelphia Soul recently.
Oh, really?
Yes.
My.
Yeah, that was announced as well. They had to take that over and start running it that way. It was owned by a local conglomerate, but that changed as of this past month. So
it wasn't Ron Jaworski, and he didn't have that the old group that was involved in the Philadelphia Soul. No,
this was a completely new group, and what they've been doing is it's a mix and match. So like Nashville is one of the top tier groups, if I'm being honest. If I'm comparing the whole of the 16 teams, others have come from semi-pro football that have started out. But the way it works is the league kind of has a hand in ownership and a percentage of some of these teams to help with costs. So you do kind of balance out where the league office owns part of it, and then you have local owners that own part of it, where it's not completely one entity ownership, like say the XFL or the USFL or the UFL, but they're almost in like an assistance role to get into these markets. But it's been a whirlwind because they've been, as Hutton put it best, again, he's talked to a lot of different podcast affiliates, and I've been trying to keep up and keep pace. It's been a lot of crunch. Been a lot of short-term kind of crunch to get things done. Less than a year prep to get arena deals and get ticketing and all the gear you need for new teams and fields. It's a lot. And I think they've been realizing they're running into that. It's coming, especially with it being the 27th that they start the first game on NFL Network, by the way. They got a lot to do still, but as long as they can execute, get through the season, that's the hope, is you can see the majority of these teams work and get a place. Now, do I think it's going to succeed and be able to make its own niche in the scene with, like, say, spring football now? That's yet to be seen. Arena fans, they are a different breed, and they will support. It just depends on how much are they going to get that is support, and how much can they get locally to support, because even more so than I think spring outdoor football, arena football, you really have to hit the ground and do your legwork on your grassroots marketing. It is so important to arena football and indoor football. We have to see if they'll be able to execute that. It's starting to get rolled out that way, but, kind of late in the process. And again, we're less than a month to kick off. So getting dicey.
I was impressed, though, that they did this deal with the NFL Network. I was like, what? They got 30 games on the NFL Network, gang. So there's going to be 30 AFL games on the NFL Network. So the NFL Network gets involved in the AFL. Of course, the UFL will be seen on Fox and on ESPN and, and all of their iterations of stations as well. So that's really cool. I'm much more excited about the UFL than I am the AFL right now, but that's a whole nother deal. All right, man. Who's going to win it all? Don't pander to us now. Give me your prediction here. Who is going to win it all, and who's going to win tomorrow in Arlington?
Oh my gosh. You said don't pander, but I do fully believe Birmingham's going to get it again.
Damn straight there.
I swear, full cards on the table. I'm actually riding with my co-host here as we're going to Arlington. He's saying 12-0 Roughnecks because that's been his catchphrase this whole time. But no,
but he's always been a honk for the Roughnecks. I don't know what the hell's wrong with him. He's always been a honk for the Roughnecks, and he's going to have to. He's going to have to bow to the Skip Holtz and the Stallions at some particular point in time. It's just the way it's going to be.
Fine, you have to bow to the Stallions. He's looking at me right now.
Yeah. Yeah. Tell him to just And they should have been the gamblers. By the way, tell them they should have been the gamblers too. All right, they screwed the pooch there. That should have been the Houston Gamblers. A much better brand, a much better name, and a much better uniform. But I guess in Houston, the people love the Roughnecks. They wanted to be the Roughnecks.
That was one of the most contentious, I think, fan debates I have seen. It got to the point, Tom, they started a petition about saving the Roughnecks name because it was looking like the Gamblers.
They wanted to be they wanted to be the Roughnecks. I think that's the Derrick. They wanted that Derrick, and so I don't know what the deal is there, but that's where they ended up. Yeah. All right, man. Well, I appreciate you guys. Have a good time. Thanks for not inviting me. I'll just go fishing, to your Spring Fest or whatever. And, we'll reach out to you as the season develops and our Birmingham Stallions are running the table. We will reach out to you guys and we'll keep it to the forefront of our minds.
We'll be in touch next time. And, hey, enjoy the fishing and, hey, we'll enjoy the games as well.
There you go. Man, appreciate you. Thanks. That is Zach Keilman from the UFL podcast. I'm stoked for it. Matt Corral is the starting quarterback, Grizz. I mean, this is not bad.
I liked Alex Magoo. I mean, I know he got a chance in the NFL.
He's in the NFL.
Yeah.
He's in the NFL. So,
I hope they can help Corral because he couldn't get that job in Carolina.
So is their kicker. The kid that was the kicker at Dallas that was outstanding.
Yeah.
Right?
Brandon Aubrey Aubrey.
He came from the Birmingham Stallions. The new kicker for the Birmingham Stallions is Chris Blewett, who we knew was in the NFL as well, but has a terrible name for a kicker. Blewett is a terrible name for a kicker. It's as bad as that kid. What was his name? Suckup or whatever?
Yeah, Suckup.
Suckup and
Ryan
Blewett.
Suckup.
Blewett is worse than Suckup. I mean, it's terrible. Some other names you might know.
Youngway Koo made his way, but
Deontay Brown.
Yeah.
Is this starting at guard? Deontay Brown from Alabama is starting at guard for the Stallions. We had a ton of them with the Iron. We had a ton of former Alabama and Auburn
players.
Didn't
they put mostly those colleges in that wasn't it regional colleges were
you
in
had
those?
A regional draft, and then you had the national draft. Here's some other names you're going to know. Deion Kane, starting wide receiver from Clemson. Remember Deion Kane at Clemson?
Yeah, definitely.
How about defensive end Taco Charlton from Michigan?
Yeah.
Right? He's starting there. Matt Corral is the starting quarterback. Let's see some other names that you might know.
They got Jay Stenenberger, I believe.
Yeah, the tight end. Sternberger.
Sternberger from Texas A&M. Yeah,
from Texas A&M. I thought Sternberger was going to be a star.
Yeah, I thought he was going to. Yeah, he was supposed to be like the Packers' next guy. Like if you, he was supposed. Yeah.
Well, so he'll have a chance to work his way back. Ricky Person Jr., running back from North Carolina State. Now, Bo Scarborough retired. Okay, so he's gone. But look. Jamar Smith was very good at quarterback for them last year when he played out of Louisiana Tech. He's deactivated for this week. I mean, that's how much, when they combined the two leagues, So, anyway, go Stallions. All right, let's get a break. We'll come back. We'll go back. Open lines. If you had one game to go to, spring game, all right? Now, I'm not talking about spring football, college football-wise, and I'm not talking about baseball or hockey. I'm talking about if you could go 90 miles north and go see a Nashville Cats game at the auditorium, or you could go 90 miles south and go to Protective Stadium and see a Stallions game. Okay? 90 miles north, Cats. 90 miles south, Stallions. You got one game to go to. Which one are you going to? All right. We'll get back to the basketball as well. For those of you that missed it, we got a little ditty that we put together for Alabama as well. Such a great, great game last night against North Carolina. We talked about that most of the first hour. But if you want to jump in, if you missed it, you could do that as well. I got stuff that piled up on my desk here over the last, this past week that we need to try and get to as well. Plus, we got the Atlanta Braves open the season immediately after the show. Braves 2:05 get started in Philadelphia against the Phillies, the nemesis of the Phillies. Doesn't matter what they do against the Phillies now. It matters what they do against the Phillies in October, if you know what I'm saying. All right, we'll be back with more right after this on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Our customers trust us not only to find the right hardware, but to advise them on the technology that makes them more efficient.
My Next Level team researches and discovers real solutions. Check-in software, HR, digital signature, and workflow software. It saves you money immediately. We hold your hand and stay with you through the transition.
We're taking our customers to the next level in business process automation.
Tom Luganbill here for my friends at Woody Anderson Ford. Bobby White and his team take great pride in their service department, and you can see it the moment you walk into those beautiful new service lanes. And just like a championship team, they all work together to make sure your experience is second to none, whether you drive a Ford or not. Also, check out the gold certified pre-owned inventory at Woody Anderson Ford for great deals every day. Stop by and see them at Jordan and Sparkman or at Woody Anderson of Madison on Hughes Road, or visit WoodyAndersonFord.com.
Alumni Hall is the ultimate shopping destination for Auburn and Alabama fans. Cheer on your teams with the newest apparel, hats, and accessories for the entire family. Shop the newest collection of top brands like Nike, Adidas, Champion, New Era, plus their 2 for $38 t-shirts. Sign up for the Alumni Hall Pass rewards and earn $10 for every 150 points accumulated. Come see us at Alumni Hall, near Belk in the Bridge Street Town Center. Alumni Hall, where the best fans shop.
Hey, pet parents. With Progressive's collision coverage, you get extra protection for your cat or dog, because there's nothing worse than seeing your pet hurt. Like when you see their face after accidentally stepping on their tail, and you say, "I'm so sorry, Mr. Pickles." But as you kiss his nose and rub his little belly welly, you know Mr. Pickles is thinking, "You betrayed me." Anywho, Progressive pays up to $1,000 in vet bills if your pet is injured in an auto accident. Learn more at Progressive.com and watch where you step. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Collision coverage subject to policy terms. Not available in all states.
The company is Eagle Masonry and Insulation, but did you know they're also Eagle Landscaping and Dirt Work? Eagle can take care of all your landscaping needs, including irrigation, sod work, and planting, both plants and trees. On the dirt work side, Eagle can grade and build your pads, haul dirt in or out, and even do erosion control. Philip Love and his team can do it all for you. The website is the same, insulatewitheagle.com, as is the phone number, 256-755-1556. Give them a call and see what Eagle can do for you. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money. Situated downtown on Clinton Avenue, you'll find the Church Street family's take on delicious seafood and more. Sea Salt. At Sea Salt, the food speaks for itself. Fresh oysters, shrimp and lobster, and non-seafood fare. Plus a large selection of wines, regional and local beers on tap, and a full bar. Catch the downtown vibe with Sea Salt's unique outdoor city street and patio seating with a view of Jesse Andrews' mural, bringing an underwater world to life. No reservations necessary. Sea Salt, 114 Clinton Avenue.
The state's largest orthopedic group is growing to meet the needs of the patients in our community. The Orthopedic Center has long been the most trusted name in orthopedics in North Alabama. So as our area continues on the fast track, so does the need for premier orthopedic care anywhere and anytime you need it. TOC is proud to announce the opening of our new locations in Albertville and Hampton Cove, along with the grand opening of our newest office in Decatur. These clinics will offer the same high-quality orthopedic care you have come to associate with TOC, with the convenience of being closer to home. As a patient, your time is your most precious asset, and we recognize that at TOC. That's why we are also proud to announce the opening of our urgent ortho clinics to handle those bumps and bruises that need prompt attention. These clinics are available to care for acute orthopedic injuries with no appointment necessary. With 38 physicians, 20 centers of excellence, and now more than a dozen locations to serve you, TOC will continue to be the name you turn to for the best orthopedic care at the right time. Visit our website at visittoc.com for more information. TOC, helping you live a better life.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Emily Owen. For this Friday night, clouds will begin to increase. We'll see low temperatures fall into the lower 50s for the overnight. Looking ahead into your Saturday, expect plenty of sunshine. High temperatures warming into the mid and upper 70s for the afternoon. It could also get pretty breezy at times. Gusts up to 20 miles per hour will be possible. Rain stays out of the forecast until late Monday night. I'm Fox 54 meteorologist Emily Owen on your home for ESPN Radio 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
This will turn journalism on its ear.
Watch our stream on WZZN TV on Twitch and YouTube.
But you are the greatest hero in American history.
We are 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Football is a rough game and often a cruel one.
Every time you lose, you die a little bit. You die inside, a portion of you. Not all of your organs, maybe just your liver.
Pain is inevitable.
They're killing me, Whitey. They're killing me.
There was only the painful face of failure.
Okay, fellas? Hey, fellas, this is what you work all off season for. This is why you lift all them weights. This is why you do all that.
There was a fighting heart under the ribs of defeat.
Never give up, baby. Never give up.
And welcome back to Tom Abraham Show. Segment of the show is brought to you by the service team at Woody Anderson Ford. Not only experts in the service of Ford and other makes, but they also use genuine Ford and Motorcraft parts on every Ford service job. They do tire rotations and wheel alignments and brake jobs, oil changes, engine tune-ups, training work. They do it all at the service department at Quick Lane Tire and Auto Center. They have got your Ford or other make covered. And don't forget the certified gold pre-owned vehicles as well, plus the new inventory, all at the corner of Sparkman and Jordan Lane and at WoodyAndersonFord.com. The only place I've been to in the Tennessee Valley since 2004.
Under a minute to go. Bama down one. Here's Mark front court. Going left. Cut off. Backs it out. Backs it out again. Defended by Ryan. Goes to his left. Cut off. Still going. Changing direction. Looks down low. Nelson. Pump fake. Shot. Counted. And he's fouled. Grant Nelson. An and one opportunity with 38.6 to go. The Tide trying to get to the Elite Eight for just the second time in school history. The last coming in 2004. 87-85. Bama lead. Carolina ball. Side court near their own bench. Ryan will inbound it.
Alabama going with a more versatile defensive lineup that can switch if needed.
Diabate in the ball game for the Tide as Davis will drive right. He'll change directions, go left. He'll go downhill and have it blocked by Nelson. Out of bounds with 15 on the shot clock. 24 seconds remaining on the game clock. Nelson trying to make it a 4-point lead. Oh, and he does. He does. He does. We lead by 4 with 7.6 to go. Free throw up. Free throw missed. They'll heave it. It's blocked. It's blocked. Nelson blocked it. And Alabama is going to the Elite Eight for the second time in school history.
And we'll have a shot to get to the Final Four for the first time in school history, as will Clemson get a shot to get to the Final Four for the first time in school history. But look, this is tremendous. And the game was tremendous. There's no doubt about it. I mean, I said throughout the show that Nate Oates, I thought, totally outcoached Hubert Davis. There was no doubt that North Carolina has better talent than Alabama has. Alabama has better unity. They play a better team game. And, what Grant Nelson did playing the game of his life was amazing. Absolutely amazing. And it wasn't just him. I mean, you got Rylan Griffin stepping in and going 5 of 8 from downtown. Without Latrell Whitesell in the lineup, this is their best three-point shooter. That was the kind of say, well, Alabama's going to have to shoot it great from 3. Well, they did in the first half. They were 50%. But North Carolina was 10 of 16. That's how they built that lead. But Alabama was able to completely choke off the ACC Player of the Year, R.J. Davis. He was completely stymied. He missed all 9 of his threes. He was 4 of 20 from the field. Completely shut him down. Now they get Clemson. Clemson beat Alabama early in the year, back on November 28th, 85-77 in the ACC-SEC challenge. Tide is a field goal favorite on Saturday night, though. They'll be in the whites. Who thought they would be in the whites playing in the regional final? So they've got a shot. It's amazing how many similarities there are to 2004 here. Having to take out a 1 seed like they did back then when they beat Stanford. Now they're going to play a 6 seed. They had beaten a 5 seed in Syracuse. When they lost to UConn, I forget what UConn was. UConn goes on and wins the national championship. Now, Alabama was an 8 seed then, or 4 seed here. They got an excellent chance to beat Clemson. That just does not make Alabama a basketball school, though. We need to stop that. Mike Sykes from the USA Today wrote an article, and in it he says, "Good morning, winners. Welcome back to the Morning Win. Happy Friday. We made it through the weekend, blah, blah, blah. Alabama UNC was everything that we love about March Madness. It had a David versus Goliath vibe to it. On one side, you had a college basketball blue blood in UNC. On the other hand, you had Alabama, who was considered the underdog coming into the game. They were 4.5-point dog. That was the weird part about this thing. I'm not quite sure Bama shouldn't have been the underdog that it was, is what he says. Well, remember, the ESPN analytics had this 50-50, is what he had it, 50-50. He said most people expected UNC to pull this out, which is reasonable considering how good that team has been all season long, but Alabama doing this shouldn't be shocking. The program has been pretty good under Nate Oates. In the last 5 years, they've made it to the Elite Eight for the first time in 20 years. They made it to the Sweet 16 3 times. They've been a number 1 seed, which they were last year, of course. A 2 seed, which they were in 2021. That all seems basketball schoolish to me. Okay, slow down here. He writes, but that's the thing, right? This is the wrong sport. When we talk about this school, it's usually because of something Nick Saban has done. That's why Charles Barkley called the team frail. And why Nate Oates can have his snappy comeback now. Remember when he said, Charles Barkley said, no, I think he meant frail because of the big white kid from North Dakota is frail. I mean, the kid's 6'10" and weighs like 130 pounds. All right, so he's a little heavier than that. Anyway, Sykes goes on to write, we're not used to seeing Alabama basketball do this, but we better get used to it at least as long as Nate Oates is there. I don't know if he'll be poached by one of college basketball's more traditional schools. I don't even know if Alabama allowed that to happen. Well, they did re-sign him. But until that day comes, put some respect on Alabama basketball's name. Well, no one is not saying to respect them. I mean, we absolutely respect them. There's no doubt about it. And respect Nate Oates. And, it'd be wonderful to see them go on and win a national championship. But I don't understand why the headline says a basketball school instead of a football powerhouse. Well, why can't you be both? I don't get that. Natty Danny is up. Natty Danny, welcome to the show. How are you?
Welcome. I was going to say good afternoon, Tom. How are we doing today?
I am fantastic.
Well, I got my projects done today. I'm heading out to bust a workout. And then I think, Tom, I'm thinking Corralejos. What do you think?
I think Corralejos was an excellent choice. It would have been even better for you if you had grabbed a couple of vouchers earlier today when it was on sale.
Well, I might have. I don't know. The boss.
Yeah.
The boss. She gets on the computer, does her thing. But
that's true.
Well, I guess the next question is this: has Alabama ever won a national championship in basketball?
They've never even been to the Final Four.
If you crack research team, which is my son Chad, second son Chad, I think Michigan has at least won one. Don't you agree with that?
Maybe. I don't know. I'd have to ask Chris Webber, have him call a timeout and let me know if they won one.
No, I think we won one with Ramil Robinson. And,
Yeah.
Look it up.
Yeah.
So, we got one in the belt there.
I think you got two. Grizz, they got two? They got one or two, Grizz?
One, 1989.
Oh, that's it? The one, 1989?
1989.
So you got one less national championship in basketball than you have in football over the last 60 years. Okay, that's not bad.
No, that's not true. That's not true.
It's true. You got one. I'm sorry, a half. So you got one and a 60 years. You got one and a half.
That's not one and a half. No, that's one.
Just one and a half football championships and one basketball championship. That's pretty good. That's good.
Well, you know what? I didn't even watch the Bama game last night after Arizona lost. I was so disappointed. I'm going, you know what? I'm done. So I'm not even going to watch the rest of it. It's not worth my time. I'm just frustrated with it. I could care less. In Corralejos on a Friday night, they got pitchers for margaritas for $20.
Yeah.
So there you go. So I got it all planned out tonight. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's good.
But I can't do it, man. I can't do it now. I just can't. So, and I tell you, you do it. You know what? Trifecta would have been nice, but I understand you're a busy man, Tom. I get it. Okay, I don't mind. You got the Masterfecta Wednesday, and then you got a Trifecta Friday. And I'll tell you what, I don't care if Bama's playing. I'm taking the other team. Period.
Okay. Well, they might not be playing Friday. Who knows? I mean, are they going to win tomorrow night? Oh, okay.
If they do, I'm not taking them tomorrow night.
Okay.
I don't want Bama in the finals. No. I'm sorry.
All right.
You know it is. You know where I stand with it, okay? Let's not go there. All right. Anyway, hey, listen. Good Friday to you, sir, and your family. And happy Easter and all best wishes for you at the Easter time, my friend. See you.
I appreciate you. You too. Have a great Easter. A great Holy Weekend. I'll be going to church in Madison on Easter Sunday, not at my home church, which is it on the one hand, I'm good with it because it's my granddaughter is getting baptized, all right, in between services, so like 10:15ish, 10:30, something like that. My granddaughter's getting baptized, and then we're going to stay for the late service, and then we're going to go over to my daughter's house and have Easter Sunday there. The bad thing about it is, Grizz, I am the chairman of the assimilation team at my home church. And what the assimilation team is that, that takes care of people that are, new visitors and things like that. And Easter Sunday is a day where you get a lot of visitors to your church, and I won't be there for it. Now, I've got a team, and they're going to be there welcoming people and things like that.
Yeah.
And we're working on putting together like a little welcome package for them and everything. But it's I'll miss being I wasn't at my church last Sunday because I was in Tulsa. I missed my church this Sunday, So I hate that, but it'll be cool to be at my granddaughter's deal.
For her, definitely.
Yeah. All right, let's get a break. When we come back, you want to jump in, you can jump in. I got a college football comment that I want to get in there, see if we can't work that in. Phone lines are open, 256-5764, 97.7 on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Specializing in simple and affordable rentals, McCurry Van and Car Rental can make sure you have just the right vehicle for your next family vacation, weekend getaway, or if you just need transportation while your vehicle is being repaired. McCurry carries Ford Transit vans and Mercedes Sprinter vans, trucks and work vans, and more. And they offer discounted rental rates for long-term rentals. Now with 4 locations: Athens, Muscle Shoals, Keilman, and Huntsville. Log on McCurryRentals.com to make your reservation now. That's McCurryRentals.com.
The kitchen is the heart of any home. It's where the family gathers. It's where kids discover old recipes and make them their own. Just starting out or just now getting started on the dream kitchen you've always wanted?
I'm Chris Haygood, and from all of us here at Bob Wallace Appliance to the home builders and the homeowners of the Huntsville area, a heartfelt thank you for buying local. We're in Huntsville, Florence, and Coleman, and online at bobwallaceappliance.com.
Isn't the story of the prodigal son an amazing story? Basically, a rowdy boy who literally wished his father dead ran away and consumed his wealth with hard and fast living. Yet the father looked for his return every day, and when the boy got tired of eating pig slop, he decided to return. What did the father do? As soon as he saw that boy, he ran to him, threw his arms around him, and killed the fatted calf for a great celebration. Hey, I'm John Dees, pastor of the Cross Point Church. If you're looking for a church home, come see us, smack dab across the street from the YMCA in Madison.
Looking for your next game day party destination? Well, think outside the box and kick back at Flow Supreme Air. And you may be thinking, isn't that the trampoline place? Of course it is. But it's also the one-stop spot for all things fun. And if kicking back with the boys to watch the game is your jam, then you're in the right spot. Jump or not, Flow tends to all ages, meaning while you sit back and watch the game, little Jimmy's having the time of his life perfecting that front flip he most definitely wants to show you. You got this, Jimmy. So next time you think Flow, think fun for everyone.
Orthopedics. You're thinking bones, muscles, and joints, right? Well, what else comes to mind? Maybe your spine, therapy, or an arm cast? What about sports medicine? What do you think about when you hear that? Are you thinking about the largest orthopedic group in the state, caring for the most student athletes in North Alabama? Or about the fact that they are teamed up with the state's largest hospital-based sports medicine program to provide care to more schools in North Alabama than any other group? If you are, you have TOC Sports and Huntsville Hospital Sports Center on the brain. If you're not, you should, because Huntsville Hospital Sports Center and TOC Sports have partnered for more than 2 decades to establish a state-of-the-art team of certified athletic trainers and orthopedic specialists who successfully continue to meet and exceed the sports medicine needs of schools, athletes, coaches, and parents in our community. Committing to kids, committing to community, committing to care. That's Huntsville Hospital Sports Center and TOC Sports.
3 down, 3 to go.
Let's get out of here and head to L.A.
It's the Crimson Tide and the Clemson Tigers in the Elite 8.
Dead on 3, bottom. Oh, Mark Sears, a huge bank first 3.
Join us Saturday, live from Crypto.com Arena in Los Angeles, on your home for Alabama basketball. The Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Emily Owen. For this Friday night, clouds will begin to increase. We'll see low temperatures fall into the lower 50s for the overnight. Looking ahead into your Saturday, expect plenty of sunshine. High temperatures warming into the mid and upper 70s for the afternoon. It could also get pretty breezy at times. Gusts up to 20 miles per hour will be possible. Rain stays out of the forecast until late Monday night. I'm Fox 54 meteorologist Emily Owen on your home for ESPN Radio 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
From Coleman to Fayetteville and all points in between.
Son, pull the hammer back. Smokey's coming at you in a plain white wrapper.
97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Immediately after the show. If you're at Valley Equipment Rental and you rent your piece of equipment, it's yours until Monday at 8 a.m. for 1 day's rent. I mean, think about how much work you get. It's now daylight savings time. Think about how much work you can get done before dark this afternoon and then tomorrow. And then, Sunday's Easter. Well, maybe Sunday afternoon after your Easter egg hunt. And then maybe you get up early on Monday and do a little bit more work. Valley Equipment Rental, they've got everything that you need to get the job done like a pro. And their equipment is outstanding. They keep it in such great shape. And if you don't know how to use it for a certain piece of equipment, they'll teach you how to use it. Valley Equipment Rental. 2 locations, North Parkway, South Parkway. Ross Roberts, his crew, just do a tremendous job. We appreciate them so much. Valley Equipment Rental. All right. Maybe we got time to sneak a call in. Maybe we don't. 256-576-4977. We remind you once again that the Braves get things started this afternoon in Philadelphia immediately following the show. So that'll be great to listen to. I don't know who can see it, which is kind of weird. I guess if you have one of the cable outlets, you can watch it on Bally Sports, I think. I don't know, Grizz, would you be able to watch the game, the Braves game? I can't. I do not believe I can watch the Braves game. Not that I can, because I got a jet out to UAH to do the baseball game. But I don't know. Grizz, would you be able to watch the Braves game anywhere on the TV?
Yeah, no. Well, I mean...
Yes or no?
Yes, yes and no. Yeah.
Okay.
There's
yes
ways.
And no. So
yeah.
which is it? Can you watch the game or not?
I mean, I can't watch the game, but I can figure out a way to watch the game, yes. But I'll be listening to it.
What is your cable provider or your TV provider? How do you watch
I told
TV?
you, I got YouTube TV.
Oh, you have YouTube TV too?
Yeah.
So we can't watch it
no,
unless we pay $15 a month for Bally.
Yeah, Bally's.
Now, what if you have the MLB app?
Sometimes it comes on, sometimes it doesn't. I'm serious. It sucks.
Really?
Yeah. It's like
kind of bizarre.
And then like if they play somewhere away, especially if I try to watch a Brewers game or something, it would be blacked out. Didn't make sense.
Crazy.
I hated it when DirecTV used to live in Georgia. DirecTV would black out the Braves games, and if it was ever on ESPN, it would be blacked out. And I never understood that. And you could only watch it on Sports South. Yeah.
And you couldn't get Sports South on DirecTV?
Yeah. Well, you could because it was 646, 646. It's like 646, 649 now, and and that's Bally's, which is obviously.
Right, but why can't we get it if you have YouTube TV? I don't understand.
No, and that's what stinks is it's like you got all these other great sports packages you can get out of it, but you have to pay extra for the baseball.
The issue of Caden Proctor has got a lot of people wringing their hands. After 2 months, Caden Proctor going back in the transfer portal after he left Alabama. Remember, he was committed to Iowa as a high school kid. Flipped on the day of the signing day to Alabama. Started last year, played all the games. And then when Saban retired, he left to go to Iowa, went in the transfer portal. And 2 months later, he goes back in the transfer portal and he will rejoin Alabama, allegedly, after April 15th.
Must have been a fun beach trip.
I mean, yeah. So this is really weird, and this is happening because of this. Remember, in December, a federal judge in West Virginia granted the temporary restraining order that made all multi-time transfers immediately eligible, because otherwise you only get one free transfer.
Right.
Now he's transfer again. Who knows? You transfer every week. Who knows what you want to do?
And still find it hard to believe that he got Iowa to tell on themselves. He got money from both sides and then came back.
Well, that's what's weird about it. Since the ruling, there's been more than 400 multiple-time transfers among FBS scholarship players during this cycle. And that doesn't include Jaden Proctor yet. Lane Kiffin said that the rule change has been a curveball for everyone involved in roster management. The way he sees it, the December and April transfer windows have created an environment where players are essentially on a 6-month deal, which is making talent retention much more challenging for coaches and collectives. In an interview with The Athletic, Kiffin said there's going to be more transactions like this one coming. He says, watch what's going to happen. You're going to have these schools getting these portal guys in January, and they pay them all this money, and guess what? At the end of spring, they're going to go back in the portal and go somewhere else. And have collected that school's money, re-upped themselves, remarketed themselves, and have never played it down for a school that paid them the money. You would never have a system like this in any professional sport ever.
They have like more freedom than professional sport. I mean, realistically, they can pretty much do whatever they want comparable.
Yeah.
They can back out of any contract, anything. It just seems like it's, it's crazy.
When are the fans going to get fed up with it?
Yeah.
Donor fatigue among the collectives, according to the story, is a legitimate concern among collectives around college sports. Schools are urging their fan bases to fund all this talent acquisition and retention. Iowa's Swarm Collective was able to raise more than $100,000 in the 2 days after Proctor became available. Now that he's gone, it's fair to ask, why should fans make that investment when players can easily change their mind and bail? I mean, it's just crazy. And now Minnesota's not even going to have a spring game. PJ Fleck in the Minnesota Gophers, they're going to have an open practice that's open only to people who donate money to their NIL collective. That's it.
Oh, that would
no
stink. You got to pay to Yay Alabama. You got to pay to that to go to the 8A game. You get a ticket.
Well, when is it? When is a fan going to say, "Okay, enough is enough"? Why do I got to pay for the kid to come to the school? You're making millions upon millions of dollars, and I got to pay something so that you can have Johnny come play at the school, and then Johnny doesn't even have to. There's no contract or anything. He doesn't have to stay or. The whole thing is so dysfunctional. All right, coming up in just a few moments, we'll turn it over to the Braves Radio Network. Braves and Phillies coming up this afternoon. I'll be over on Zone 2 at 4 o'clock. UAH Baseball, if you want to tune that in, it's over there. And much, much more going on, including the tournament tonight, which will be over on our sister station, Talk Radio WZZN, as Alabama and South Carolina will play baseball on the Zone. It's amazing. Right here on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
WZZN, Union Grove, Huntsville, Alabama. 97.7 ESPN.